Hey folks, Lindsey Huddleston with Sports Psychology Solutions back in the building. The Dragons Den at Summit Academy here promoting the game of the week. Going to have Summit Academy coached by Mr. Mark White, Coach Mark White, and he's going to be leading this team up against Mount Clemens coming in on January 10th. But right now, we're talking about building a great program. We have someone who's very essential to a great program, the head JV coach, Mr. Todd Wade. How you doing?
I'm doing well, yeah.
Great. So good to have you out here, man. Great to be out here in the Dragons Den and practice on this great day. Tell me what's going on with your program and what the future looks like.
So at the moment, we're just building. We got a lot of young guys that's coming in. We're just trying to build this program and build it to a powerhouse. Part of it, when I spoke with Mark about coming over here, was about the future.
Right.
Building this thing to last. So right now, that's our main focus, is getting young players in here, developing them, and getting them ready. So down the line, we're going to be competing with the best of them.
Right. Development is key, and I was a former JV head coach myself over at my alma mater, Henry Ford, and it's so difficult because all your JV players probably want to be on varsity. Somebody told them they should be on varsity, but their skill level is probably on the freshman team if you had one. But so how unique is it dealing with this generation of athletes and try to focus on the development part?
You know what? It's difficult, but it's a test, and something that I enjoy because, like you said, a lot of them want to play varsity. They get that sense of fulfillingness saying that they're on the varsity team.
Sure.
So it's always kind of a battle, but what we try to do is be realistic with them. Kind of set them down and say, hey, this is what you need to work on this season. So playing at this junior varsity level, we're going to help you develop that. So once you get ready to move up to varsity, you're going to have the essential tools to be able to play there successfully.
Right, you get the reps in and all that.
Yeah, we want them to have a successful opportunity to play on that varsity level. We don't want them to just be on the team and just kind of going through practicing. So what we kind of try to do is sit all our players down in the beginning, give them a list of things that we feel that they need to improve on to be at that level as a varsity player. So that's kind of how we sit down, and we just try to be real open with them and honest with them to kind of let them know that, hey, if I do this, then next year I'm going to play a big role on the varsity team.
So for the players that may be listening, tuning in, I think this is really important. In my personal experience, I remember as a sophomore, I made the varsity team, and that was cool. But man, it was such a challenge, Coach, because I was out later, my grades suffered from the transition, and I just wasn't getting any reps. I knew about the practices and all that type of stuff, but I remember I was going to quit. Period. My mom was like, it's not working out. I was going to quit. But the coach said, no, go down to junior varsity. So when I came down to junior varsity, basically I was a man because I had that varsity pedigree. I got my reps in, and I just really saw, wow, this is really good for me because it gave me that. Is that the experience that other players have the opportunity to have too, you think?
Absolutely. We have all the time. We get a couple, and we take some of our JV players to play or practice with our varsity team. So they get that experience of just the practice flow. Sure. Understanding the different speed of it, understanding the mental toughness of that level. Even it's all high school basketball, but still at that varsity level, it's a different it's a different game. It's a different speed.
Yeah.
So we do typically take some of the guys that we feel is kind of on that line or really close to making that varsity team and bringing them into some of the varsity practices and being able to practice with them and try to bring that leadership back down to our JV program also. So we try to we try to help them out as far as mentally letting them be able to practice with the varsity team, making them feel comfortable, and then trying to bring that to the JV program also. So we try to mix the bag a little bit.
Yeah, no, that's good. I bet sometimes for those young people who finally get up to get that practice, they may say, whoa, I don't think I'm really ready for this. Talk about the speed, the physicality, the expectations, and probably one of the most humble coaches that I know with a resume that extends from here back to the city of Detroit, Coach Mark White, to be able to play to his expectation as well. So what is it like getting the call from Coach White to come on board and making the decision to come aboard and being part of the Summit Academy family? What was that experience like?
It was amazing, man. I've known Mark now since he was out at River Rouge, and we had a great relationship. And he told me that he had been watching me in my early career coaching, and so we had a good relationship, exchanged numbers, and we had talked throughout the off season, and were able to get from the previous school that I was at before, was able to get the JV team down there and go down there and play against his JV team, and him reaching back out at the time he did. did was really great because I've always admired him. And I think that he does a phenomenal job just with the little things, the detail-oriented things, and that's something that, you know, I'm real big on too.
Sure.
So when we sat down and met, and you know, he just gave me the plan for the future, it was kind of a no-brainer.
Right.
I mean, this guy is one of the best coaches in the state.
Absolutely.
And for him to reach out and say, hey, he likes what I'm doing and want me to be part of what he's doing, it was a phenomenal feeling. It was something that I couldn't pass up, and I jumped at the opportunity.
Wow, it seems like your hard work paid off. So what advice can you give to other coaches out there, other ambitious coaches who want to get a great call from a great coach, from a great program, but instead of just politicking all the time, you got to just put your head down and do the work?
I would say just put your head down and do the work. You know, I've been coaching now I started actually coaching girls, and I wanted to get over to the boys side. So, you know, I had to grind all the way through from coaching girls JV, then coming over to the boys. So just do the work, man. Just be confident and be willing to learn.
Sure.
What happens?
Willing to learn.
Yeah, you got a lot of coaches.
So you didn't come over saying you knew it all?
No. First, one of the things that me and Mark talked about, I said, hey, I want to learn. I want to sit back and I want to learn from you. And he was like, dude, I brought you over here because I thought that what you was doing was already good. So as you learn, I still want you to bring what you know.
Sure.
So my biggest thing with young coaches, because I'm a young coach, so it's just to soak up everything that you can. Go get out there and talk to other coaches, meet with other coaches, make that connection, just keep grinding, because after your work is going to eventually pay off.
Right.
It's just, you know, you got to put your head down there and just keep working.
I like that. Sitting here with Coach Todd Wade, junior varsity head coach at Summit Academy. You guys are really building a program over here. I mean, just the time I spent with Mark today, and he was talking me through things, speaking highly of you and his coaching staff. You know, what does it mean to really build something, you know, as opposed to coming from something that's already established? What does it mean to build something?
Well, it shows all your hard work. It shows your mentality. It shows what kind of culture that we have here. Because, again, you're starting from ground zero.
Yes.
So it's a great feeling because you put your stamp on it. You know, everything that you want your team to be known for, it starts here at practice.
Sure.
So we get the opportunity to work with young guys that are not used to a high-level program,
right,
and be able to put our blueprint on that and develop them. So it's a great feeling. I've been excited all year.
Sure.
I've been excited all year, you know, knowing the different challenges that we're going to face, and still kind of going through that and still learning, because it keeps us as a coaching staff on our toes.
Sure.
Because again, it's a building thing. You know,
right,
it's building the program. So we're not there yet.
Right.
You know, so as we come against different obstacles, you know, we got to sit down as a coaching staff and figure it out. So
right,
just putting our heads together, that's probably been one of the funnest parts about everything. You know,
sure,
just sitting down in coaches meetings and picking each other's brains and trying to figure out, you know, what's the best way moving forward in this scenario or that scenario. So, I mean, it's just been amazing. It's just been so much fun, so much work.
It sounds like a great experience. Two things I want to touch on before we get ready to wrap up, and this has been great, and I'm taking advantage of the information you have that hopefully our viewers can take advantage and share it. You know, what do you say to someone who says, why do you want to go somewhere there that's not known compared to an opportunity of somewhere that may be sexy, well known? You follow what I'm saying? Like, why do you want to go somewhere where you got to explain where you are, where you're going, compared to something that's well known?
Well, I think that you always want to put yourself around great people. So I think, you know, from the athletic department, from the school, from the administration aspect part of it, and with Coach Mark, these are all great people. These are all great minds that has a vision of building this program and want to give us as many tools as possible for us to succeed. So when you have people like that from the top of it, it's just going to trickle down.
Sure.
And it may take a little bit of time for it to get there, but it's going to come. So what I would say for people looking at Summit and not being a basketball school or not known for their athletics, the great thing is we got great people over here, and we're pushing for the best. So that's how we're selling it. We got great people over here. Coach Mark is amazing.
Absolutely.
Great basketball mind. Great resume.
Yeah.
So, you know, we're pushing off of just the great people that we got at top, and it's trickling down.
That's great. That's That's great. One other thing I want to talk about, we talked about a little bit when we talked about mental toughness. As a sports psychology consultant, I always look at the mental toughness part. But now it seems that with the things we're seeing on social media, the unfortunate tragedies with young people who are self-harming and even going as far as completing suicide, I feel I have to talk more about mental health too. So it's a full spectrum from mental toughness to mental health. As a coach who's right here at ground zero with these young people, what's some feedback or advice you can give to kind of help young people find their way when they're struggling, whether it's dealing with depression or anxiety or feeling overwhelmed? You know, what's something that you found has been helpful in helping them with that?
I think for me and for our coaching staff here, the biggest thing is always open line of communication. We try extremely hard to have an outside relationship, not just as far as basketball, but outside of that. Just trying to understand the well-being, grade-wise, what's going on in the household, and just letting them know that they can reach out to us at any time.
Sure.
And just being there for them.
Sure.
What I think what get lost is that these high school students, and they think that some people think that they don't go through too much, and they do. We don't know exactly what goes on outside of just in this couple hours that they're here. And what we try to do is try to be available and in their lives to try to be able to help them through that process or whatever they may be going. It can just be as simple as, Coach, I just want to come over and just play the video game.
Sure.
Something as that simple. And we just try to be open and try to.
But to that point, that's excellent. But there are probably people who will look at that and say, "Well, I'm not available," as opposed to saying, "Okay, this is a bridge opportunity for this young person who's reaching out," and that's huge.
Yeah. I mean, we try to do team activities and things of that nature. We try to get the guys around each other to feel comfortable to not only talk to us as a coaching staff, but as teammates.
Right.
And as a brotherhood, we try to push that as if you need anything, you got 10 other guys that's on the team that can possibly help you out.
Sure.
So we try to push,
promote that culture, create a culture like that.
And again, that's what we talked about earlier. Is just building that culture of brotherhood.
Right.
Basically being there for each other no matter what.
I love that. One resource I want to share that's been really helpful, I think, to have out there, the Crisis Text Lifeline. That'll come up on the screen right now. Coach, you can text 741-741 because we're also text orientated now. And there's a resource on the other end of that text that can help young people who are dealing with issues with mental health, thinking about harming themselves. I just want to put that out there because I know you being in the coaching community, there'll be a lot of eyes on this, and that'll be another resource that's just out there when you see what can help. But other than that, is there anything you want to say before we sign off to the Summit staff, to the Summit community, to your players, to whoever may be watching?
Yeah, I just want to say that I'm extremely excited to be here. I'm extremely excited about the season. We got off to a great start. Both teams actually got out to a great start, and we're building over here. And I'm just excited to be here, and I appreciate you, man.
Okay, we got Coach Todd Wade, head coach for Summit Academy Junior Varsity. This program is building. Better keep an eye on it. Got to get your way out here. Hey, good luck with everything. We'll see you soon, okay?
No problem.
All right, see you guys.